When you think about the great programs on television that deal with matters of international relations, Saturday Night Live doesn't automatically come to mind. However, let me set this piece of tape up, and Daniel Drezner knows where I'm going here. The U.S. federal government owes China $800 billion, and when you include the debts that are held at state, municipal, and corporate levels, the number is around $2 trillion. And Daniel Drezner recently wrote that the following clip explains why this situation gives China remarkably little leverage over American affairs. SNL, here we go, roll tape.
You know, as I listen to you, I am noticing that each of your plans to save money involves spending even more money. This does not inspire confidence.
I assure you, you're going to get your money.
Will you kiss me?
I'm sorry?
Will you kiss me?
I don't understand.
I like to be kissed when someone is doing sex to me.
Okay, Daniel, you're on. Why do you think this clip represents U.S.-China relations and the debt situation in particular so well?
I'm glad to know that I can export American culture in this way.
Remember, it's a Canadian that's been running that show for 35 years.
That, touche.
Okay.
I would, you know, in some ways the clip shows two things. It shows the Chinese, you know, acting in a somewhat more haughty manner, you know, berating the Americans, you know, asking questions about America's fiscal responsibility, which gives the appearance that China actually has considerable amounts of power because the United States owes China so much money. But the point of the clip actually is that China is incredibly frustrated, that they actually can't get the Americans to make the policy adjustments that they want them to make. And in part, this is because China has no other place where it can put its money. The reason it's buying up so much U.S. debt is because, among other things, it wants to keep the yuan relatively cheap compared to the dollar. The only way it can do this, the only way it can keep the yuan pegged to the dollar and to stop it from appreciating, is to continue to buy more and more dollar assets. So it's actually China that needs the relationship, as you know was talked about earlier, to be in the status quo. The United States can continue to run a fair amount of debt, and China doesn't have anywhere else to, you know, to put its wealth. So in that sense, it shows that even though it looks like the United States owes China a lot of money, which is true, to paraphrase Keynes, you know, if the United States owes China about $1 billion, that's the United States' problem. If it owes China $2 trillion, that's China's problem.